Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we were discussing this important aspect of what is the main difference between mind and artificial intelligence. I will just revise that last part. Just So here we are seeing how this mind is made of. So mind has this from the soul the consciousness comes to chitta. From chitta there is manas, buddhi and ahankar. So subconscious mind, conscious mind and identity. And then it goes to the brain part and where neurons. And from there that is the hardware part. And then the body operates. So this is the programming part. This is the programming, and then this is the programming part, and then there is brain, which is the hardware part, and then which operates the body with the help of all these neurons and all. So now, when the artificial intelligence that is created by the scientists, whatever they are trying, they are only able to give this buddhi part. They cannot give manas, that is the emotional parts, identity part and desires part. Chitta is desires, manas is emotions, and identity is ahankar. So the artificial intelligence don't have any of these things. It can only have only buddhi part. That also some section of buddhi part where you have logical and memory part, and then it forms the hardware, and then there is action. So this is the main difference. There are other differences also, but if you want to remember very easily something, so this is the way you. I'll just write soul, and then this it produces consciousness, and it transfers to the mind. So now this mind has four sections: uh, chitta, and then we have manas, buddhi, and ahankar. So this is how the uh, progress, right? Now, and then we saw this is transferred to the brain, and then there is body, which functions. Now, uh, these aspects are desires, then there is emotions, then there is logical intelligence, and then there is identity, right? Now, when it these are the things which we have, and this is the programming given to the brain, and it functions. Now, when it comes to artificial intelligence cannot have manas, it cannot have chitta, it cannot have some aspects are there, like memory is there, so it has memory and logic. So only these two aspects are there. No emotions, no desires, no identity, right? So we cannot we cannot create mind because it has other aspects also. And these things come because of the consciousness. These aspects of emotions, desires, identity is because of the presence of soul. Because soul gives the consciousness. Soul is transmitting the consciousness, which is with the mission it is not possible. So scientists they thought if we can make a very complicated mission, it can create consciousness. No. So complication mission make will not create consciousness. Soul creates consciousness. So this is the main aspect. So from, because that's why we call not, this is material intelligence. Material dehatma buddhi. So dehatma buddhi is when we are identifying with the body, right? So this is what buddhi we have presently, and is what this is what is making us understand this way. And what is the main mistake is we are trying, and we also understood that this brain is actually biological computer, biocomputer. So now scientists are making computers. AI is also computer. So both are computers only, brain and AI. But apart from brain, we also have brain plus heart. This is what is human being. But AI only has brain, no heart. You're understanding the difference, no? So all these desires, emotions, and identity, that all comes from here, which is not there for artificial intelligence. So uh, scientists are thinking everything is a function of brain. No, but it's not brain; it's heart also. So there, the major mistake happens for them. So now we will come to, now what Lord gave is Lord is giving for the living entity. So now we will come to this section where Puranjana section. This is important. Uh, so this section tells that now it's not analogy; it is directly story. What Narada Muni is telling. So Puranjana, he is given intelligence. So it is compared to wife. Why wife? Because with the help of intelligence we enjoy. So we have intelligence. Intelligence helps us to enjoy whatever activity we are doing. We use our intelligence. If I want to eat nicely, then I know I should uh, get some ingredients, proper ingredients. I need to earn money for that. So different types of enjoyment is based on how much intelligence we have. A person is more intelligent, he can enjoy more sophisticatedly. A person don't have much intelligence, he will just make some minimum money, and with that only he'll try to manage. So basically, intelligence is the means for us to enjoy in this world, right? Uh, so this is what Lord has provided for us. So it is also compared to wife, because a man needs wife to enjoy. So a living entity needs intelligence to enjoy. That's why this comparison is given. Now, as soon as living entity gets intelligence, so what he does, the tendency is to misuse. Means tendency is to enjoy in a wrong way. Uh, So that's why here Puranjana is going to the forest for hunting. He is enjoying wrong way. So then, for a man, it is man also has this tendency. So that is the reason Lord created woman. Why woman is called Dharmapatni? Now, what does she do? So the living entity's tendency, the man's tendency is going a wrong direction. So Lord is helping him with the help of woman to live a proper life. Man plus woman, dharmic life. So woman has an ability to protect a man from going in wrong direction. That because she can give that emotional support to him, and which will help him to come out of this conditioning. So this is the system Lord created. Man has this rational and emotion, woman has emotion. So man needs that emotional support, and which he gets from the woman. and she will make sure that he always follows the right path. So this is the ability, and you have many examples also, and I have seen personally, like boys who are like having bad habits, smoking, drinking and all. Once he gets married, the woman makes sure that he's coming out of all the conditionings. He becomes fixed. He will not go here and there. He will be very regulated, and he will eat on time. Otherwise, unmarried boys, bachelors, if you see that they don't have any regulations and many things, they have some bad habits, this, that. But once he's married, everything gets cut. He becomes very regulated and all. Because woman has this, she has this ability to hold, hold the man with her emotional support she gives. So that's how the system is created. And man gives protection to woman gives the emotional support, which helps him to live a dharmic life. And then he gives protection. Now, so from adharmic life, he come to a dharmic life. So from sinful life to dharmic life. Now, the problem is even this dharmic life is also a problem. So this is also a problem because a man will get attached to man, right? So this is also not good. Then you get a guru. So what guru does? So man is attached. So then comes guru. So he will help him to get detachment. So woman is not actually problem. Attachment to woman is problem. Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. So if his Yoshitam Sangi is attached, that is actually the problem. Woman is not problem. But what happens to the man? He gets the tendency to, he is leading a very dharmic life. Now you see here, King Prachni Barshad is living a very dharmic life. He's having a wife, his children are very good, all the Prachetas, very obedient children. They went to the forest to perform. So he's leading a very good life. But that is also not correct. That's actually what fourth canto tells. Even dharmic life will not lead anything good. So then comes the guru who will help us to give up this dharmic life and take to spirituality. So give up dharmic life and takes to spiritual life. So that is the system. So here now the living entity is going in a he is going with a sinful tendency. So now he is this sinful tendency will be protected by his wife. That's what here we see that queen becomes angry. She brings him to a right direction. She brings him to a dharmic life. So that is this chapter is telling. But Narada Muni tells her this is also so here for King Prachini Parshad, he was doing very nice. He's having wife, children, and all. Then Narada Muni comes. Here the guru is Narada Muni. So Narada Muni comes and makes him give up this dharmic life and take to spirituality. So that is the system. So man is married so that he will use a dharmic life, and then he takes guru's support so that he can give up dharmic life and take to spirituality. So this chapter is the action part. So first, the previous chapter which was explained, that was talking about how it works, means what is the thing that is given by the Lord. So Lord gave living entity the facility. What is that facility? He got a body and he plus intelligence. So this body is the kingdom. Kingdom in the sense we have all the senses and all which we can utilize it. And then we have the intelligence is wife. So this is compared. So you have all the senses, uh, all these things are given in the kingdom. We can utilize it because we have we have the facility to use the way we want our senses. That's why this is our kingdom, and all the subjects are there who obey the king very nicely. And intelligence is compared to wife because sometimes she listens, sometimes she don't listen. Our intelligence is also like that. Sometimes it listens, sometimes it don't listens. But senses, they obey us. So that's why it is my speculation. But anyway, so here this is the whole system that is explained. Now we see Nardamuni is trying to tell the same thing. So Nardamuni gives this understanding of the story. So okay, the question is what about the woman? so here if for women also, she lives a dharmic life, and like my mother and all, many women I saw, and 2 days back I met very nice dharmic lady. Because the woman is dharmic, the children become spiritual. Children comes. So I met a very dharmic lady. She had 3 children. All 3 are spiritual. They're all nice Krishna conscious devotees, chanting 16 rounds, and very nice devotees. And I tell to them that this is because of your mother only you are devotees, and she's such a nice lady. So even my mother is also very dharmic. So if if all of you are devotees, the credit goes to your mother. Your mother, 90% of your mothers must be dharmic only. Very some cases without dharmic mother also there. But they that will help them. That children will get that spiritual impressions from childhood only. So that is the advantage, and that's why in India the spirituality is so much because women are still very dharmic, and now they want to follow West. Then things are changing. That's a different case. Then what happens, na? This dharmic woman, if the husband is taking to spirituality, taking to spiritual life, she will follow. So this is how the system works. So when Dhritarashtra was at kingdom, Gandhari was kingdom. When Dhritarashtra went to forest, Gandhari also went to forest. All the Prithu Maharaj went, then Archie also went. So everybody, they follow their husband, and they also perfect. So Guru is needed for both of them. So Guru's guidance is not only for man, it is for women also. And now in Kali Yuga, man may not be following, but if woman follows the Guru, she can attain perfection. For women, that is easy. To be dharmic is easy because that her psychophysical nature matches. She does not get go into wrong habits. That is the advantage for women. There are not many addicts and all these for alcohol or smoking or any other bad habits. You don't find women much. You find many man only. So man has this tendency to go wrong direction. All the addictions, 90% will be man only. Women, women don't have that problem much. They are made like that. That is their advantage. So for them, they just have to from the dharmic, they have to become spiritual. So the dharmic to adhyatmic. So that's for the woman. So we'll continue the story. How the living entity misuses the opportunity that is given to us. So generally, this tendency is there for everyone. So the tendency is to go because we are in the material world. That's why we are in the material world because we have a tendency to go in wrong direction. So Lord created wife. That's why she's like a fortress, a protection. She, with the help of woman, man can become very regulated and all. So that is a system that is given. The great sage Narada continued, my dear king, once upon a time King Puranjana took up his great bow and equipped with golden armor and quiver of unlimited arrows and accompanied by 11 commanders, he sat on his chariot driven by five swift horses and went to the forest named Panchaprashta. He took with him in the chariot two explosive arrows. The chariot itself was situated on two wheels and one revolving axle. On the chariot were three flags, one rein, one chariot driver, one sitting place, two poles to which the harness was fixed, five weapons, and seven coverings. The chariot moved in five different styles, and five obstacles lay before it. All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold. So this is he is explaining about the chariot, and according to this, the chariot is the three verses explain how the material body of living entity is under the control of three qualities of external energy. So the body itself is a chariot, and the living entity in the is the owner of the body, as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Dehinosmin yata dehe. The owner of body is called Dehi and is situated within this body, specifically within the heart. The living entity is driven by one chariot driver. The chariot itself is made of three gunas, three qualities of matter nature as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yantra Rudhani Maya. This is important understanding that we are made of three modes. This body, what we are seeing, is three modes. That's all. This is a very important understanding. Like we give the example of kaleidoscope. So it's a pieces of glasses, and they are kept in a box, and then there is some mirror. And when we look through that hole, you will find so many different colors, different colors, different colors. But if you break it, there are only some pieces of glass. So they can manifest as many colors, many patterns and colors. So this is the whole creation is like that only. This is a very important concept. Whatever we are seeing, this is actually what Gyanis meditate very, very diligently. They sit and meditate on this only to come out of it. They only try to see the ingredients. Arre, this is just the ingredients. This is not reality. The the kaleidoscope, if you see, you are seeing so many different patterns, beautiful things. If you break and see, they are just some pieces of glasses, few, and which are manifesting so many patterns. Similarly, this creation is manifesting so many things, but they are just few, 24 elements are only manifesting all these things. So here, that's why the second canto is very important in that way to understand. Hey, this is all 24 elements only, and I am seeing beautiful mountains, trees, hills, houses, and so many people, bodies, and all. That's all. This is all my only. So the word yantra means carriage. Body is given by material nature, driven by the body of driver of that body is Paramatma, the super soul. See, we are not actually able to handle only. This body should be handled by Paramatma only. The living entity is seated within the chariot. This is his actual position. That's all. You only sit and observe, but identify with it. Driven by Paramatma. And how Paramatma drives? Based on the karmas and our Swabhava, he is making it work. The living entity is always being influenced by the three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamo. This is confirmed in Traibir Gunamayir Bhave. So these three qualities are described in this verse as three flags. So three gunas are three flags, and by a flag one can come to know who the owner of the chariot is. So this is a very important understanding. Like if a chariot with Hanumanji's flag on Hanumanji is there, that means Arjuna is coming. If there is some palm tree or something, Yudhishthir Maharaj is there. So Garuda is there, then Lord Krishna is coming. So the flag indicates. So for every country, when there Olympics or something, they bring the flag. Or if the president car is there, the flag will be there in the front of it on the car. So it indicates that the so and so president of this country is coming. So it indicates the personality. Same thing with the deities also, they have their particular flags and all. So it is indicating who is the owner. So similarly, by the influence of three qualities of mental nature, one can easily know the direction in which the chariot is moving. That means if whichever flag is there, you are going in Tamoguna, Rajoguna, or Sattuguna. In other words, one who has eyes to see can understand how body is being driven, influenced by the particular type of quality of material nature. So if we are, which mode is driving us, that is the flag that we'll have. So modes are driving. Modes are driving in the sense, that is the direction which Tamoguna, Rajoguna, he is the owner now. We can see what is the owner of the body presently for us. The owner may be Sattuguna is the owner of the body, or Rajoguna or Tamoguna is the owner of body. If you are able to wake up early in the morning, maybe Sattuguna is the owner. It is very difficult than Tamoguna. It's like that. So who is the owner? Which mode is influencing us? As the day progresses, then the Rajoguna flag rises. As the night comes, Tamoguna flag rises, like that. So in these three verses, the activity of living entity is described to prove how the body becomes influenced by quality of ignorance, even when a person wants to be religious. So this is the point. People come to spirituality, but still they perform wrong activity because mode of ignorance is very strong. And Narada Muni is trying to explain this point. So Narada Muni want to prove to King Prachini Barhi that the king was being influenced by Tamoguna, the quality of ignorance, even though the king was supposed to be very religious. According to Karmakandya, the process of a fruitive activity, a person performs various sacrifices described by the Vedas, and in all those sacrifices, animal killing or experimenting on the life of animal to test the power of Vedic mantras is enjoyed. Animal killing is certainly conducted under the influence of mode of ignorance. So this is the point. So King Prachinbharat is supposed to be very religious. Sorry, King Puranjana. But what is he doing? He is doing animal sacrifice. So in Karma Kanda, animal sacrifice is there. But this is making him becoming irreligious. So animal sacrifice is recommended in the Shastras, not only in the Vedas, but even in modern scriptures of other sects. But animal killing is certainly conducted under the influence of mode of ignorance. So this is the point. So yesterday, one devotee kept status. I liked it. So he was talking. He was just showing. There was some podcast between two people. He was kept that as a status. So one person was telling, we have five senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and no skin. He said that a person goes to a non-veg shop where animal killing is going. First thing is you don't like the smell there. It is very odd. So nose will reject. And when you see, you don't see that cutting and all. It is very irritating. People don't like to see that. And he says that the animal is screaming. If you take any animal which they are going to cut, so ears also don't want to hear that voice noise. And then if you are directly given to eat, you cannot eat that. So tongue also resists. And then the person tells, okay, you want to take it? He says, don't give in the hand. You put in a cover and give. So you don't want to touch. So all the five senses are rejecting the this is animal because it is completely in mode of ignorance. Animal killing, eyes don't want to see that what how he's chopping. Ears don't want to hear that screaming sound. Nose don't want to smell it, and tongue cannot directly eat it, and then you don't want to even touch also. So all five senses are rejecting this non-veg because this is complete ignorance. Then he was comparing, but when you go to a fruit shop or a vegetable shop, when you see the fruits, you will like it because so many different varieties of fruits and different colors. The smell is also very good. You can eat directly raw. Of course, there is no sound. But the touch, you can like to touch it, you can eat directly raw, you can smell it, and you can look is also very nice. So all the senses are satisfied when you go to a fruit shop. So because this is actually tamoguna, I like this analogy. It was it's not a devotee outside person, but he gave such a nice thing. I liked it. And here he says that everyone uh, even though one may be religiously inclined, animal sacrifices is recommended in the Shastras. Uh, these animal sacrifices are recommended in the name of religion, but actually, animal sacrifice is meant for person in mode of ignorance. So, very clearly mentioned this point. When such person kills animals, they can at least do some in name of religion. However, when the religious system is transcendental, like the Vaishnava religion, there is no place for animal sacrifice. Such a transcendental religious system is recommended by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman paritidya mamekam sharanam raja. Sorry. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami mas. So, and now Prabhupada is trying to connect it in this way. He's telling, just forget everything, do bhakti. Uh, so, King Prachni Barshat was engaged in performing various sacrifices in which animals were killed. Narad Muni pointed out that such sacrifices are influenced by the mode of ignorance. From the very beginning of Bhagavatam, it is said, Projita Kaitavotra. All kinds of religious systems that are involved in cheating are completely kicked out of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the Bhagavad Dharma, the religion dealing with one's relationship with Supreme Lord, animal sacrifice is not recommended. In the performance of Sankirtana Yajna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. So this is the Sankirtana Yajna. And there is no recommendation of animal sacrifice. What is to be sacrificed when we are chanting? Because this is also sacrifice, na? Something should be put in the ahuti. So the ahuti, what we have to put is our pride, our false ego. That means we have to give up a wrong identity. We have to have a right identity for chanting. So this is what is sacrifice. No need of animal sacrifice. What we need to sacrifice, Lord will not be pleased. He when we are sacrificing some animals or we are putting some navadhanya or putting some ghee. That is okay, Lord. But more pleasing for the Lord when we sacrifice our ego, give a right identity. With that we perform the sacrifice of chanting Hare Krishna. That is what is pleasing. So Lord don't need this sacrifice. Lord need the sacrifice. So these three verses, King Puranjana's going to the forest to kill animals is a symbol of living entities being driven by mode of ignorance and thus engaging different activities of sense gratification. So this is the tendency of the living entity, which we discussed in the beginning. That as soon as the living entities driven by mode of ignorance and thus engage in different types of sense gratification. So Lord provided facilities and living entities are using for this. So material body itself indicates that living entities already influenced by modes of three modes of material nature. We are all influenced by modes of and then is driven by the enjoying material resources and he is driven by the desire to enjoy. So when the body is influenced mode of ignorance, its infection becomes acute. When it is influenced by passion, the infection is at the symptomatic stage. However, when the body is influenced by goodness, the material influence becomes purified. So, this is actually what we need. So, dharmic life is to bring a person to mode of goodness. So, because dharmic life is to bring person to goodness. So why people have to take only vegetarian? Because that will help us to come out of the influence of tamoguna. Because we will be driven to enjoy material resources. So materialistic influence becomes purified when we come. That's why we need to keep our mind in goodness. So happiness is proportionate to purity of mind. So mind can be pure when we live a sattvic life. So dharmic life is for happy life. Of course, material happy life, not spiritual happy life. So goodness. So the ritualistic ceremonies recommended in religious systems are certainly on the platform of goodness. You see, so this dharmic life is certainly for on the platform of goodness. But because within the material world, even the mode of goodness is sometimes polluted by these other qualities, passion, rigorous. A man in goodness is sometimes driven by the influence of ignorance. So it is here uh, described that King Puranjana once went to the forest to kill animals. This means that he, the living entity, come under the influence of mode of ignorance. The forest in which King Puranjana engaged in hunting was named Pancha Prishtha. The word Pancha means five, and this indicates the object of five senses. That means we do sense gratification. That is like going into the forest with all. That means this metal world is like forest, and we are entering this forest with how? With our five senses. So that is the point here. So we are entering with our five senses. Entering forest with five senses. So the body have five working senses, namely hands, legs, tongue, rectum, and genitals. By taking full advantage of these working senses, the body enjoys material life. So five senses, working senses, and five working senses. These sense organs are very easily attracted by the sense object. Consequently, the horses are described as moving swiftly. On the chariot, King Puranjana kept two explosive weapons, which may be compared to Ahankara or false ego. This false ego is uh, typified by two attitudes. I am this body, and everything in my bodily relationship belong to me. The two wheels of the chariot may be compared to the two moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. The chariot is described with three flags, which represent the three modes of mental nature, the five kinds of obstacles or uneven roads represents the five kinds of air passing within the body. So this is all very good comparison. This should be a revision for us. Prabhuji has described, but uh, I will still do it because very nice comparison. We will go, will not rush, we will go slowly. So the sense organs are attracted. So on the chariot, King Pujan gave two explosives, which may be compared to ahankara, or false ego. So this is where the we have senses, but most important is ahankara. What is this ahankara? Two, what are there? I and mind. Ahankara. First is senses are over, then ahankara. I and mind. Aham mameti. So the senses are over, then he has ahankara, he has some explosives. If you come near, you will be blasted. The two wheels of the chariot may be compared to two moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. So they go parallel. We don't need both, we need spiritual life. So here, this is another comparison. And we this already, the chariot flags are already described. So the two wheels are compared to sinful life and religious life. The flags represent three modes. That means we who is very prominent now. Whichever flag goes up, we are going in that direction. Tamaguna, Satuguna. And the five kinds of obstacles are uneven roads represent five kinds of air passing within the body. Prana, apana, udana, samana, vyana. So the body itself is so So these are the five kinds of why there are obstacles. Prabhupada didn't tell. So I also don't know about it. The body itself is covered by seven coverings, namely skin, muscles, fat, blood, marrow, bone, and semen. So they are the seven dhatus. First is skin, then there is muscle, then there is fat, then there is blood, then there is marrow, the bone, and semen. So semen is the most subtlest thing. The living entity is covered by three subtle material elements uh, and five gross material elements. These are actually the obstacles placed before the living entity on the path of liberation from material bondage. Oh, it's. So why they are obstacles? Because the soul is entangled because of these coverings. So we are covered by subtle and material elements, which is not allowing the soul to come out of it. The soul is covered by subtle and gross elements. So that's why they are the obstacles. So the word Rashmi, rope, in this verse indicates the mind. The word Nidha is also significant, for Nidha indicates the nest where the bird takes rest. In this case, Nida is the heart where the living entity is situated. The living entity sits in one place only. The cause of his bondage are two, namely lamentation and illusion. The cause of bondage. In material existence, living entity simply hankers to get something he never get. Therefore, he laments. As a result of being in this illusory situation, the living entity is always lamenting. This lamentation and illusion are described here as Dvikubhara, the two parts of bondage. Living entity carries out various desires through five different processes, which indicates working of five working senses. The golden ornaments and dress indicates that the living entity is influenced by the quality of Rajoguna, passion. One who has a good deal of money or riches is especially driven by mode of passion. Being influenced by mode of passion when desires so many things for enjoyment in this material world, the 11 commanders represent 10 senses and mind. The mind is always making plans with the 10 commanders to enjoy the material world. The forest named Pancha Prashta, where the king went to hunt, is a forest of five sense objects, namely taste, smell, taste, sound, form, taste, sound, smell, and touch. Thus, in these three verses, Nardmuni describes the position of metal body and the engagement of living entity within it. Okay, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.